In a dawn rinsed with dew, an owl buffed her beak till it gleamed like a drawn blade, the mirrored curve catching small suns in every droplet. She drifted low over the meadow, tallying imperfections like a meticulous judge. The finch's stubby tip, the crow's sooty hook, the wren's chipped nib. In her reflection, she found a queen. In other faces, only subjects. Pride narrowed her hearing into a tunnel and turned the forest into a hall of applause. By noon, the birds had stopped laughing back. Hurt settles heavy when it can't find a place to land. One by one, they gathered under the hoopoe's crown of feathers. The air turned amber by sap and secrecy. The hoopoe's voice was a small, careful saw of its own. "We can teach without harm," he said, "if we let her trip over the things she worships." Morna broke with the soft clatter of wings. The hoopoo stood on a fallen branch like a magistrate. "A contest for the most beautiful beak," he declared. "We will trim, lay them out, and choose the fairest." Gasps wove through the leaf-stage whispers, doubtful looks. The owl, however, floated forward, already hearing her coronation hymns. Warnings fluttered toward her like nervous moths. Then the saw sang, that sun-high, metallic, unrelenting tud, through the clearing and drowned the bird's thin pleas. Feathers shuddered, hearts hitched. The owl did not flinch. When the screech finally ebbed, silence arrived with its own gravity. The owl tilted toward the creek's surface and met a stranger. A face without a crown, a mouth without its armor. A hush fell, one of those heavy hushes that teaches. Shame came with the next sunrise, swaddling her in a cloak that smelled of damp bark and old smoke. Daylight felt like a stage light. She left it to the diurnal and sought the chiaroscuro of caves, where the tongue of wind licked. Old stone and the forest breathed in syllables instead of sentences. She sat in the throat of a hollow and discovered that losing a blade can sharpen a listening. It began with small sounds, the kind pride steps over. The friction whisper of moth wings, of voles, quiver in root, tread, dark. The tiny, muscular applause of mushroom gills opening after rain. The night had a grammar. It declined arrogance and conjugated absence. In hit syntax, the owl learned to read what cannot be seen. On the 7th, neath a lean moon hung like a chipped thumbnail, she found it. A silvered shard of light pooled in a niche of stone, as if the cave had swallowed moonlight and kept a piece unchewed. When she lifted her face, the glow settled along her profile. Not a beak, exactly, but a mask of illumination that cut nothing and wounded no one. It reflected, that was all. It returned the world to itself. At dawn, the birds came with apologies clutched like seeds. The hoopoo's eyes were the kind that meet consequences. Head on, we wanted lesson, not loss, he said, shoulders drooping under their own plumage. The owl raised her head, light skimming along the ghost beak of moon. Beauty can petition, but it cannot pass law, she said. Respect arise when the night hears you listening. The forest argued about what happened after. Some swore she wore the moon mask only at night, letting it fade at the first bell of a thrush. Others insisted she chose to keep the absence, to walk the world unarmed and, therefore, fully awake. Either way, the path forked under her wings. Either way, the next line of the story waited for her voice to write it.